having trouble getting the lighting the way I want it. That'll do. So this is the last NaNoWriMo video installment in my NaNoWriMo video series that has taken me a little while longer to do this final wrap-up video. I've been traveling to see family and finishing like 2 to 3 crazy weeks of finals, and now I'm in Colorado, hence the slightly optical illusional background. Delusional. As promised, I will be talking about how I organize files, but I also want to talk about in this video what I do to recover and feel good about the first draft that I finished, because it is an emotional and difficult process. Rest, so much rest. I've slept for the last 3 days for a reason, because finals was like a NaNoWriMo sprint for me. And then the other thing I do is I print off a hard copy of my first draft. I talked about this at the beginning, how I'll print off the pages as I go. But if you haven't done that, what I like to do, like before I had my own printer, was put my entire first draft document on a jump drive, go to Kinko's or a printing place, and print off the whole first draft. I can't tell you how nice it is when you finally are ready to do that version 2 to have that hard copy to be like, oh, I like made this. What I'll also do is email myself a final version of the project and be like, this is the final version, because sometimes it's easier just to search my email for project files. The biggest takeaway for that I want you to take is you have to rest after this process. You have to refill the well, as they say. I think what I've learned during grad school is that it's a process, and just kind of submit to the process and respect it and not try to control it or get things done on my exact timeline. But first, the file organizing. Okay, so here I have the general way I organize files for any project. It starts with, on the left, you can see that column of 1 through 6. It starts with notes. Those notes I'll usually organize by date. And then we have outline. You'll see I start to organize with this handy version 1.1.2.3 system. So these are just the stages of the first version. Then we'll go to version 2, it's same thing. Version 2.1.2.3, so that's the second version of the outline. And we'll go to first draft, which is what you guys just did with NaNoWriMo. Okay, so this is the most simple and easy way to organize. Like, let's say my working title of my project is Ronin. This is all version 1, but I'll save copies in installments, so every time I sit down to write, I'll save a new version. So version 1.1 is the first time I sat down to write, version 1.2 is the second time, and so on. But the 2 other ways that I organize my files are by chapter or by date, and then within each of those you will see, so this is what a first draft looks like when organized by chapter for me, or just by how many chapters I've written in a sitting. And then to the right of that I have the document project name, Ronin, and then chapter 1, and then version 1.1. So I'll just save as I go. In case I end up accidentally deleting something that I wanted, I'll have it saved in an earlier draft. And you can see that now we're in chapter 2 and 3, and I'll name it in the same way, like that. And then how I organize it by date, like let's say it took me until November 25th to finish, which is not the case because I always finish at the last minute with these projects. So November 1st, 2016, I wrote this much, and then instead of having chapter right there at the center, it has 11.1, which is the date. So that is what I do to organize my files. I think it's also how like programmers organize their program versions with this like 0.1, 0.2 beta system. So yeah, the completed first draft, and then below it we have a rewrite plan, which would just be like notes to myself for a rewrite, and then the one after that would be the second draft. And you will notice with the second draft it changed to version 2, version 2.1, v2.2. That is how I'll organize the rewrite. So yeah, not very exciting, but man, it was really frustrating when I didn't have a system to organize my files. So for me, this has been very nice to have. I also highly recommend doing the 1 through 6. This shows you the process to building this project, from like the initial idea and notes to your first draft and your first rewrite, your second draft. So that's how I organize files. I am going to be revising a novel that I wrote a couple years ago for NaNoWriMo, and I'm really excited about it. I love this story, and so I'm going to be doing a lot of reading research. Yeah, anyway, that's it. Haley, say hi. I'll show you Haley. Look at my sleepy puppy and a Christmas tree and a Broncos. Oh, we are losing badly. Okay, well, that's awkward. Look at the puppy. I'll take a sneaky picture of her while she sleeps. Hold on.